Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Band Rants channel, your home for NFL projections, predictions, and of course, your periodic rant. And in this video, we're going to go over my Week 8 picks and how I did. And of course, we're also going to be talking a little bit about the second half of the season. And I'm going to also be making my Week 9 updated picks and locking them in for the week. And we're going to talk a little bit about as you can see by the meme, the AFC wildcard picture, because it's so awesome to watch right now. It's about 11 teams that have either 500 records or better, and that's actually, at this time of year, not necessarily unheard of, but still pretty interesting to watch. And we're going to talk about all that. I'm going to get into my Week 9 picks, but before I do, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm just going to dive right into it. I don't think anybody saw this coming. This was a big surprise. A lot of these games were, and some of them you could argue were 50-50. And this is the time of year where the NFL gets really weird, meaning like the weird teams win games you don't expect them to win. A perfect example of that is the Jets beating the Bengals. I don't think anybody in Vegas would have seen this coming, or anybody anywhere would have seen this coming. That's probably the biggest upset of the week, easily. Titans beating the Colts, Patriots beating the Chargers. Those aren't unreasonable expectations. Honestly, the Patriots was a bit of a surprise, just because the Chargers were coming off the bye, and I figured they'd have a big chip on their shoulder after such a devastating loss to the Ravens. But the Patriots, I think, are playing with more grit nowadays, and the fact that they are taking these teams to the limit. The Chargers are a good team. And you could argue the Patriots could easily be 6 or 7 wins right now. And looking at the NFC, getting one game right, there's a lot of surprises. The 49ers and Panthers were probably the surprises. Everything else, Packers beating Arizona, not really that surprising. Honestly, I figured if the Cardinals were to lose, it would come from this game. Saints beating Tampa. Pleasant surprise, and I figured that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would do a lot better without Drew Brees on the other side. But Jameis Winston and Trevor Siemian, if you told me they would beat Tom Brady on their first try as a combined quarterback unit, no way I'd believe you. Dallas beating the Vikings. This one, again, Sophie's choice. Dallas, even the two games that I've projected Dallas incorrectly losing, they haven't won by very much. It's been very close. Other than that, I've done a pretty decent job with the schedule predictions for Dallas. But now looking at Week 9 and the early look, I can tell you right now, just scrolling down a little bit here, we have the Bears and Steelers. I am going to probably pick the Bears over the Steelers. This is a flip. I just think the Bears are going to really be having more to fight for right now. I think the Packers are running away with the NFC North title. I think that they're probably going to lock that up. And honestly, I think the reason the Bears are going to win is because I think all of their divisional opponents are going to lose. I think the Ravens will beat the Vikings. I think the Chiefs will beat the Packers. With Aaron Rodgers on the COVID list, he's not going to be playing against Kansas City, so that should be a pretty easy victory. Unless Jordan Love does unbelievable things, in which case we're going to have a much more different conversation next week. Titans and the Rams, I can say right now, just this is going to be the game of the week, and this is a great choice for a Sunday night game, and I'm glad that they actually decided to make that the Sunday night game, because it's a great choice. Cardinals, 49ers, both teams are going to have a lot of high expectations. I do think Arizona actually gets the sweep and wins this game. I think that they were very close on Thursday. They have a little mini bye week because they have an extra 3 days of rest to prepare for this game. And it's not like they have to travel very far. They're only going from Arizona to California, which, on paper is like a 3-4 hour drive, but it's also a lot different of a flight. You can drive to California and not have to worry about it from Arizona. Falcons and Saints. I'm going to pick the Saints. Pretty easy. I'm going to just go kind of rapid fire for the AFC. I'm picking the Colts. I'm picking the Bengals to bounce back. I am picking the Bills. And between these two teams, this is probably the hardest one I have to pick, but I'm going to actually say that the Houston Texans actually find a way to lose this game. See what I did there? Raiders off the bye should win that game fairly easily. Dallas over the Broncos fairly easily. I think the Chargers and New England are going to win these two games. This one could be a bit of an upset because the Panthers have played Bill Belichick hard the last couple of times they've faced them. They've actually won, I believe, the last two matchups between these two teams. And then Titans-Rams, that's probably the toughest game. I'm going to just go on a limb. I know the Rams are due for a choke, and I think the Titans have been playing amazing football lately, so this is a really hard one to pick. Against my better judgment, I'm going to pick the Titans to win this game, but that can change, and if it does, I'll be sure to let you guys know in the comments. But for now, those are my picks, and probably a lot of flips from the original predictions, but this is where I'm at based on the current progress of the season. But the really cool thing, if we look back at the, before all this stuff, and we actually talk about how many teams are actually in the hunt, there's about 11 teams that are currently in the hunt in the AFC. This is before all these results. So I'm talking about how you have the Patriots, the Chiefs, the Browns, the Broncos, all at 4-4, and the Colts are 3-5, but you could argue that probably won't last, and the Colts will probably get back to 500, starting with a victory in Week 9 that can go a long way to at least getting them back there. But the fact that we have 10 teams, even 10 teams at this point that are, it's almost like a rat race, and you can see that based on the meme at the beginning, we have a lot of things to cover and how each team can do it. But obviously I don't want to ramble too long in this video, so if you guys like what you saw here, please make sure to leave a comment down below and like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.